agents. And one agent, he reached out on one of the properties, and now when they refuse and say the seller doesn't agree with the finance, do we go back and ask for, like, how do we approach that? As
I always recommend that, and again, this is my personality, or at least the one
Okay.
that's talking today. So it really depends on how the realtor says no. If the realtor is rude or Karen-ish, you know what I mean? You know that
Mhm.
tone, you know what I'm talking about. Then I usually say, hey, look, my offer is good for 30 days if your seller changes their mind. My buyers are eager and ready to move forward. Have a great rest
Oh,
of your day.
okay. So, but now when I call them, they're not answering the phone, so I end up just sending them a message, but not everything. And I asked them, that, I wanted to be able to talk and send over an offer to them, but everything has been through like text messaging and not picking up the phone. Like they'll message me back and say, they either can't talk right now, or it's conversations through text messages and email about everything and not physically getting on the phone with me.
Gotcha. Have any of them made it to the point where they're asking you to send over a contract or wanting to move forward?
One lady did. It's actually in Macon, Georgia, and she's that's the one that I put in the chat, that she asked to that she rather someone come out and look at one of the particular properties that she's talking about, because they didn't have any pictures online. It was just the front of it. And the owner had a tenant in there, which I believe the tenant moved out. So she actually called me back and talked to me. And she was saying that the tenant is, she's a motivated seller, but if she doesn't get it sold, or the terms is not right, that she'll just put another tenant in there for right now. But she said the lady did say that it was a full rehab, that it really needed some work done to it, and it's like 80,000 showing on Redfin, about 80,000. I said, would she be willing to take anything lower than the 80? And she said she sure that she would, but it just kind of depends on the terms of it. So I sent her the email of what came out. But if she's willing to go down after reviewing that, and I don't know what a buyer would actually pay for it, she may be interested in going down lower than that 80,000 that is offered, and it's free and clear, so there's no mortgage on it. But the agent did recommend another property in Macon. That one was on the market for 110, but she said that it had a mortgage on it. I asked her how much the mortgage was, and she was like, it's less than 100 on the mortgage, but is on the market for 110, about 100. So if it's less than that, like, she couldn't tell me directly what it was. But when I went on ProWire, it showed that it had a mortgage balance of 35, but then at the bottom it had a loan amount of 81,000, and then they had a balance of 51 something on it, and payments of 500 and something. So I don't know which is which.
Gotcha. So usually when a real estate agent, or anyone for that matter, is a little tight-lipped on information that you're asking, and that's okay. That's their job. It doesn't seem like she's being difficult. It seems like she's trying to protect her client, which that's what she's supposed to do. I find that it's a lot easier. I know it's a lot easier to kind of lead with the information you already have and then just have them confirm it, because psychologically it doesn't feel like a betrayal to most humans to do that rather than just to give up the information. So for example, if you say, hey, I completely understand, I'm just trying to make sure that I don't waste anyone's time, I want to send you an offer that makes sense. So I'm seeing on my system, I see one number that says they have a mortgage balance of about $38,000, and I see one that says they have a mortgage balance of about $55,000. Which one is accurate, so I know how to write my offer? And then now, instead of them just flat out giving information, they're just confirming one or the other, which seems to be a lot easier for people to do.
Okay. And then, so once, she hasn't emailed me back yet in reference to it, because she did give me her email address, and I did email her off on both of the properties that's there in Macon. And it's definitely, I don't live anywhere near Macon. I'm about an hour and a half or so away from Macon. Um, but what about the property that she says that, it's the seller is motivated? I sent her over. the offer that Deal Sniper gave, and just kind of waiting on her. But she was just like, she rather have someone come out and look at the property because she's had two deals to fall through. Once the buyer, came to see the property versus coming to see the property first and then do the offer because of all the work that needed to be done, I guess I'm assuming that was
Well,
on it.
well, if the
So
property is vacant right now, I mean, I know this doesn't help anyone, but why wouldn't they take pictures of it now, just show everyone what it looks like so we can avoid this stuff?
exactly. And it's only the front of the house that's on here.
Yeah, that doesn't even make any sense. I mean, if I can understand when there's a tenant in there, obviously, yeah, most people don't want their house on the internet. Okay. But if the place is vacant, take the photos. Like they should have taken the photos the day after so people know what they're buying. That way, only people who have seen it can call you, whether they live in the area and they can take photos or not. But
Right.
in this situation, I mean, obviously that doesn't help. So in this situation, I would let her know, like, hey, I completely understand where you're coming from, and I'm really sorry that that happened. But unfortunately, I can't secure my fiduciary interest in the deal if I send my buyer there without getting something under contract. So we can get it under contract and have it open-ended, meaning, hey, this is under contract, but if I get another offer that I want to take, then Mercedes is going to let me out of this offer and I can move forward. Something like that.
Right.
You can do that, but I
Okay.
wouldn't. I mean, we just had it in the Discord. I think it was 2 days ago, where someone sent their buyer before they got the deal under contract, and the buyer, the
Hmm.
realtor, cut them out of the deal.
Gotcha.
So I wouldn't do that. And you know
Okay.
what? In all honesty, that's pretty much I mean, for me anyway, and based off my recommendation, that's a non-negotiable thing. So unless
Gotcha.
you can, I guess technically the other thing that you could, I don't like tedious, but the other thing that you could do is just hire someone off of TaskRabbit or Gopher.com, and they usually charge like 20, $30. They'll go down there and just hire them to go take pictures. Say, yep, I'm going to send them down there on this day at this time. If you can let them in, that'd be great. And then just have that person take pictures. You pay them 20, $30. They send you the photos, and now you've got the photos when you go to market the deal once it's under contract. You can do that.
Okay, that's a good idea. Now, I also have a question on this other one. So, I just got a response back from the guy. He I sent him over. I sent him a text message because again, that one he didn't answer the phone, and he sent me over his email address. But then he also sent a listing, like, so it's showing one property, but on that one property it's listing three properties at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's like 3 for 1 because they're different things. Do I just submit it for that one? Because it appears that he wants to sell it as a threesome, like,
Yeah.
all three property lines. But how would I do that in Deal Sniper, like putting that information in? Is it one by one and
No,
then just send it one by
you
one?
you wouldn't use Deal Sniper to make the numbers. What you would do is you would take his listing price for all three and then use the deal machine calculator, use the seller financing section to create an offer, and then just fill in the spots for the email and then send it. Because Deal Sniper doesn't know how to do multi lots or even multi families yet, as far as separating them.
Right. Okay. So on the deal calculator, um, and doing the creative finances, how would I just add up all three of them as a total purchase price, or do them separate?
No, you would add them all up as okay. So hold on, I'm confused. Is it one listing with three lots, or is it three separate listings being sold by the same person?
So he has it on here, 3 property package for sale. And so even on a Redfin, it shows one of the addresses, but in description of everything, it has all three addresses listed.
So I would just clarify with him what the asking price is for all three, because
Okay.
I'm a bit confused. If there is
Mm.
one price for all three on listed, like that's the listing, like, hey, you give me
Mhm.
$200,000, you get all three of these. Then yeah, you can just put the address into Deal Sniper and it'll spit out an offer for that. If it's three separate listings, then I would run it through the deal machine calculator, just add how much they're asking for all of them together, and then start it. That's your purchase price, and then go from there.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. So I should do them separate, write the numbers down, and then go on the calculator and then add those numbers together and plug them in like that.
Yes.
Okay.
So when you send him the email for the offer, it's only going to have one section in there with the terms, but it'll be for all three properties.
Right, exactly. Okay. Okay, I can start there. I know I'm going to have more questions further, but that's it for right now.
All right, sounds good. Kendrick, what's up, man? Kendrick, you're muted if you're talking, bro.
Hey, what's up, Sean?
No worries.
Hey, do you do live calls? Like, if I call a seller, and can you walk me through what to say next?
What you mean, like in real time?
Yeah.
No, I don't typically. No, I don't do that.
Okay.
There'd be no way for me to accommodate all the people that I train to do that. The closest thing that I can do is I can get you in contact with one of my team members, and whichever one of them has time, they'll call and basically close it for you, and then you can listen in on how it's done, and then they can help you afterwards, but you have to pay them for that.
Okay, cool. Because seller tried calling me just now, and I think he has some questions about the 0% down interest that I sent him what you put on the cheat sheet.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what he's gonna say about it, so I didn't want to.
Yeah, you
Like,
can't be
fumble it.
you can't be afraid of that, man. The only way you're going to know how to hold on to the ball is to fumble it a few times and see what caused you to do that. Plus, there's no way for me to predict what he's going to say, because I don't know the rest of the conversation. I don't know this guy. But as far as the 0%, what we're doing, I mean, just to give it to you in a breakdown, hopefully this will help. We kind of figured the most that we would pay, or that our investors would pay in interest on any given deal. We figured out what that would have been monthly as a monthly payment to the seller. We added that up, and then we just added it to the purchase price. So now the seller is still getting that money. If they were going to get $100 a month in interest, which is $12,000 a year, and then we put a 3-year balloon on it, then they would have gotten $36,000 in interest. So we just added $36,000 to the purchase price. They're still getting the money. They're just getting it on the purchase price instead of every single month. And the reason why we do that is that our investor is getting a 0% interest monthly payment, which allows them to cash flow, which makes it attractive to them, so they'll actually buy it from you.
I somewhat understand that.
Which part don't you understand?
So, okay. You are, yeah, I just don't.
You want me to go through it again?
Yeah.
Okay. So every single monthly payment with a mortgage has principal. It's principal and interest. There's tax and insurance, but that can be separate. Don't worry about that. Every single payment, there's principal and interest. Your principal payment is one amount, and then the interest payment is another amount based off of whatever your interest rate is. It could be $200 a month. It could be $500 a month. It depends on a combination of what that interest rate is plus the loan amount. So you add those two together. Every bank does this. They add those two together every single month. That's your monthly mortgage payment for your principal and your interest. So all we're doing is figuring out the most interest that a typical investor would pay on a deal, which is usually about 3%. That's the highest that they really want to go on seller finance deals. So we figured, okay, if the purchase price is this $200,000 and we give them 3% interest every single month on the monthly payment, that means that just the interest portion, not the principal, just the interest portion of that monthly payment we'd be giving them every month is $100, just for easy numbers. So instead of giving them that $100 a month, we added up that $100 throughout the life of the loan based off of what the balloon is going to be, and we just added it to the purchase price. So if they're supposed to get $1,000 a month, which is $12,000 a year in interest payments every single month, instead of giving that to them every month, we're just giving them an extra $12,000 in the purchase price. So instead of $300,000, we're going to give you $312,000. Does that make more sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Well, don't say yeah if it doesn't. Like, that's what these trainings are for.
But I do have a question. Like, okay, so let's say purchase price is 494K,
Ooh, okay.
monthly payment $1,000 for a 12-year balloon.
Mm-hmm.
How do you? Is it so 1,000 times 12, 12,000 times 12 years? That's 144.
That's
You,
$144,000.
you
Correct.
just cashed them out because the house is most likely going to be more than the purchase price at the end of the 12 years.
Well, that's also one of the factors that's put into the formula. Yeah, appreciation is definitely a part of it. Another thing that's a part of it is the fact that rent goes up every year, a certain percentage, depending on the area. So that'll affect it. You guys don't see any of that stuff in the front, but that's what's happening in the background. So your thinking is right. The only thing is that on a $494,000 property, because that purchase price is so high, the amount of interest that we would give them, it's not 3%, it's going to be a lot less. So it's not going to be $1,000 a month at all, which means that the
Uh,
deal sniper number, that if your purchase price was 494, what was the deal sniper number? 520, between
1,000
520 and 530? No, I mean the purchase price.
or yeah. Uh, I think no, it was like four. Asking price was like 450.
Oh, and then deal sniper kicked it up to 494?
Yeah.
Okay. So that makes more sense. Then yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that I could think he would be asking is how we came up with that. And tell the truth. Say, hey man, we have a system that was given to me that I was trained how to use. And when we plug the numbers in, this is what it tells me. I didn't program the system. I don't know how it works, but I do know what my investors will buy. It's all programmed into the computer. And the terms that I sent you is what my investors will buy. So here's what I'd like to do. You give me 2 weeks. Let me push this to my investors. I know like 5 or 6 of them that'll probably jump on this deal if we can get it under these terms. Worst case scenario, 2 weeks goes by, you're right back where you are. It doesn't cost you a dime. Best case scenario, we get some money in your pocket and get the house sold. What's your email address? I'm going to send you the paperwork right now. Take a look at it. And then if you have any questions, call me.
Yeah, that's good. But the monthly payment's gonna have to be larger than
Well,
that, right?
well, the monthly payment is whatever Deal Sniper spits out. And you
Okay.
can use the deal machine calculator to figure out what your max is. And I recommend that you do that before you call this guy. Otherwise, you're gonna be on the phone with him. You're not gonna have the numbers. You're gonna say, okay, I'll call you back, and then you're gonna have to try and figure out the numbers or ask me or someone else, hey, how do I do this? Do that part before you call him. Make sure you know what your max is. That way, if he says something that you can't do, hey, I want $3,000 a month. If you know your max is 1,200, you're like, okay, well, look, man, I can't do that. I told you, my investors need to be able to cash flow. If they can't cash flow, they're not going to buy the deal. It's just going to sit on market like it has been doing. So do you want it to sit on market or do you want to get the thing sold? Because if you want to get the thing sold, we need to negotiate on these numbers and make it a win-win for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't cash flow with the higher. Okay, so have this open while he's on the phone so I can plug and
Yeah,
play. Okay.
absolutely. Put the deal in the calculator the way Deal Sniper gave it to you. That way, the only thing you have to change is on the seller financing tab, whatever monthly payment he actually wants. Or on the inputs tab, if he's like, well, I actually want monthly interest, then you can just put it in there. It'll tell you what the payment is. You transfer that payment over to the seller finance tab and you're good to go.
Cool. All right, Sean. Thank you so much.
No problem. Let me know if you need help.
Will do.
Mike, what's up, dude? Wait, what do you prefer, Mike or Michael?
Mike's fine.
What's up, Mike?
But yeah. Did you see what I had sent you? I just have a question about that property.
I don't know. When did you send
You
it
were
to me? I
just
haven't been on
texting me on
Discord most
Discord.
days. Oh, was that me? Okay, let me see. Is your name Mike on Discord?
It's Mike. It's just Tua Tagovailoa. My fault.
It's what?
It's Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh, there you go. Okay, what's your question? Oh yeah, you got a showing in 10 minutes, dude. You should have told me that. You should have cut me off. What's up?
Yeah. I'm on the way there now. It's like 20 minutes out. I just have a question. I just don't really know like how that is appetizing to an investor. Like, because it's been sitting there on the market for a year, basically.
Right. That's what I was trying to tell you in the message. It's been sitting on year, but not under terms. It's been sitting on market for a year at 80, 70, whatever the original purchase price was. Whatever investor you're selling this to, that's the purchase price, but that's not what they're paying as an entry fee. They're only paying whatever your down payment is plus your assignment fee, which is significantly more attractive, especially if the deal cash flows.
Can you say that last part one more time?
Completely different mindset. As long as the deal cash flows and the entry percentage is low, then an investor will buy it. It doesn't matter really what the purchase price is.
I got you. I don't know.
And
I
then
feel like
as far as the balloon, as long as you keep the balloon in range and with a $93,000 overall purchase price, your balloon is absolutely in range. You should be good to go.
so. Like, you think 5 years would be fine?
I mean, 2 years is probably shit. You could probably get away with 1 year. I wouldn't, because the higher the balloon, the more attractive it is to investors. The more investors are going to be interested in the deal, the higher probability you have of selling it and selling it quickly. So the higher the balloon, regardless of your purchase price, will always be better. But if this guy's 70 years old, yeah, don't make that man wait that long for his money. Give him a 2-year, 3-year balloon. Call it a day. And when when the real estate agent's talking about the monthly payment, go in the cheat sheet, look at the why 0% answer, just like I was going through a second ago, and explain to them, hey, my investors want a cash flow. That's their only reason for wanting to buy this property. So if we can get this thing under terms where my investor can cash flow, then this is pretty much a done deal. I can give you everything else you're asking for. But if we can't get the thing to cash flow, they have no incentive to buy it. They're not going to. It's just going to sit here a bit longer. And then your 70-year-old client isn't going to have any money.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know. I just thought, for me on my end, I was seeing if I couldn't find it and flip it to an investor immediately, I could just list it on Marketplace, because there's a lot of people within that area that really can't, like, they have really poor credit and they can't, like, buy a house on full term. So not even doing
You're talking about
it.
flipping it to a homestead buyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what that was my end goal originally.
There's no reason you can't do both. You do 2 separate postings, one geared towards homestead buyers, one geared towards investors, assuming your deal cash flows. I haven't seen the calculator, I haven't seen the rest of the numbers, but if the cash on cash return is good and the entry fee percentage is good, then investors should take it as long as the property doesn't need a shit ton of work before they can get a tenant in there.
And what's a good, like, cash on cash number, like 30%?
You haven't seen my SOP video yet?
No, I haven't.
The minimum cash on cash return for a creative deal needs to be between 10 and 12%. And that's minimum. That's ugly. It's not like attractive, but they'll look at it. Ideally, you'd like to be at 15% or above on long-term rentals. About 17, 18% or above on short-term rentals in short-term rental markets.
Okay, I got you. So, like, if it were to be at 25, around there, that'd be very attractive.
That's good. And it also means you have a lot of wiggle room. So you could actually give that man more money every single month, as long as your cash flow is at least $300 a month with the cash on cash return.
Okay, you think I could say, like, 3-year balloon, do that down payment you recommended me earlier, or maybe not exactly at that, maybe around, wait, what's that?
The terms that you sent me are absolutely fine with anything between a 2 and 5 year balloon. Again, assuming the deal cash flows, because I didn't see that part.
Yeah, I just need to check that. I got you. Thank you.
Not a problem.
I'm done now, Pete. Thank you, though.
No worries. Good luck on your showing. Talk to you later. Does anybody else have any questions or anything they need help with?
Yep.
What's
So
up?
I just have a question about my Arizona deal. Because I'm starting to get worried now. I haven't found any legit buyers, and I haven't heard anything from you guys' end either. So
Okay.
it's kind of making me feel like it's a dead end.
Don't trip. Give me 1 second. I am not looking at that screen. What was the address? Well, what was the address? Give me the street name.
Freer.
Hey guys,
Freer
when you get a
Drive.
chance, can you give me an update on Freer Drive? Okay, give me like 30 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
And
I mean, that's all I have. So
I'll DM you whatever they say.
sounds good. Thank you.
No problem. Anybody else have any questions? What's up, Mike? Oh, you're muted. Am I being punked? All
Can you
right.
hear me?
There you
Can you
go. I thought you were fucking with me for a second. I was like, that was a good one. I was in it.
I've been trying to catch you for the last week. Yeah, I just started using Deal Sniper
Nice.
last week, and I was trying to figure out the best way to do it, because when I was looking at the videos, it just say just send out the text the the blast before you call them. So I'm kind of thrown for a
Wait,
loop.
wait.
Which
Say that
which way
again.
would it
Say
go?
that. Wait. Say that again. Start over. You saw a video that said do what?
When you send out the information to the agent.
Okay. How have you been doing it?
Okay, so I just been sent I've just been sending out to the agent, sending to the agent, just sending 20 properties a day to the
Okay.
agent.
So if I were to go on this property right here, how are you sending it to the agent?
I go to Deal Sniper,
Okay.
then I put the address in,
Okay.
and then I run the number. Yeah, I just, whatever Deal Sniper says, and I take out the because I just happened to see the other day where you said take out the like 29 years and all that stuff. Just take that part out.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can just put in whatever your balloon range is.
Okay.
Okay. So you get to this part, right?
Correct.
The
Clean
offer's
the
made.
numbers up.
Clean the numbers up. Okay. Then what do you do? What have you been doing after that?
And so I did a Google Drive. I sent put everything in the Google so I can track everything.
Okay. Bet. So far, so good. Now, at what point after you send this email to the real estate agent are you calling them to follow up on it? How long are you waiting after you
So
send
this would before I send the email, I would text them and say, where should I send the offer to? Is that good, or should I call them?
it? I think it's a little unnecessary just because the realtor's information is right here.
Okay.
So their phone number, their email address, if they have it listed.
Oh,
So
wow.
if their email address isn't here, which it'll pull it for you, and then you can just click here to copy the subject line and everything. But if and this is new, by the way. So anyone who's seen the
I didn't
video,
even see that.
I haven't done an updated how-to video yet because we're rolling out a lot of updates like constantly. So I'm gonna wait until they're all done, then I'll do a video. Otherwise, it'll be 10
wow.
fucking videos on the new shit that we're adding. So yeah, if this isn't here,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, see, they need to fix this because it's cut off a little bit. You need to double space that, dude. I'll tell them. Then I would give them a call with their phone number. That's right here. And I'd say, hey, I'm getting ready to email you an offer on East 34th Street. What's your email address? I don't see it listed anywhere. And then they'll just give it to you. But I would definitely call. I wouldn't text.
So call first. Okay, gotcha. And
No, not necessarily first. If this is here, if the email address is here, just send it. And then call after and say, hey, I just sent you an offer on East 34th Street. Did you get it?
Okay.
And then that way it'll prompt them to open their email right then and there on the spot if they can, if they're not busy. If they say, yeah, I got it, but I haven't looked at it yet, I'm doing whatever. Hey, not a problem. No rush. Just give me a call if you have any questions.
Okay.
And then follow up with them the next day if you don't hear from them.
Gotcha. And also, I just got a couple of one that said, have you seen the property yet? Or we don't take blind offers. How would you respond to that?
There's not a whole lot you can do about blind offers other than just trying to explain to them what you're doing, which is wholesaling. Now, it's up to you first of all, it's up to you if you want to be honest or not, but I always advocate just be honest. It's like I don't even fuck with people who aren't honest. So tell them that you're a wholesaler, but then there's ways to package it. Like if you look at the cheat sheet in the Discord, here, actually, I've got a copy of it right here. Kind of. Where's this at? So you can take a combination of this and a combination of this and explain, because both of these explain more or less that you're not the end buyer, that you're the wholesaler. And if you do that and then follow that up with, because of this, I will have my investors go take a look at the property once it's under contract. You can also bargain with them. You can say, hey, look, I completely understand where you're coming from. I am attempting to wholesale this property. So I'll tell you what, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, I definitely don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to lock you guys up under a contract that's going to stop you from taking a valid offer if it comes across your desk. So here's what I've been doing lately, and I've had a lot of success. Let me send you a contract, read it over. If your tenants, or I'm sorry, if your sellers are okay with the terms, I'd like to get you in the contract, but I'll add a clause basically saying that if while we're in our due diligence period, our inspection period, whatever you want to call it, and you get an offer that you actually want to take right then and there, I'll just let you out of the contract and you can go take that offer. And then you and I can work together on the next one. I'm here to build bridges, not burn them. Would that be okay? That's it. If they're okay with it, then they'll do it. If they're not okay with it, they're not going to be okay with the fact that you're a wholesaler, or they're hardlining on, hey, look, I appreciate all that. You know, and normally I would, but my sellers don't want to take any blind offers. At that point, you can do what I told Mercedes earlier, and you can hire someone to go down there and take photos of the property for you, pay them like $20, use TaskRabbit or Fiverr or something like that, someone off of Facebook. They'll go down there, they'll take photos of the property, send it to you, and then you're like, okay, I've walked it, I've seen it. Now let's take a look at my offer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind doing that because, like I say, I'm in a big city, so in Georgia, so I don't mind going because I grew up in the city, so that's why I'm
Gotcha.
doing most of my put most of my offers in the city.
That's the perfect strategy to go for where you know.
Yeah, and I really had another question. Oh, could you run? Can I give you a property? It is I already did this earlier today, but they didn't accept it. But I want to see how you run the numbers and stuff. Just do it creative.
Sure. I don't need the address. I just need the numbers. What kind of deal is it?
I just sent out an offer and they responded back. They don't want to do creative, so I asked them did they have anything else. They was like, nah. So I just wanted to see how you ran the numbers on this.
It was a seller financing offer, then I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. Give me the deal sniper numbers. What was the purchase price?
Let me pull it back up. I'm sorry.
Take your time. I'm on here until you guys don't need help today.
Oh, so the deal snipers number were purchase price was 247, seller finance 255.
That doesn't make any sense. You mean the other way around?
Yeah, it was 274,000.
Oh, 274,000. Sorry. I
Yeah.
thought I heard 247.
Yeah, and 250 seller finance amount was 255,000.
Okay.
Monthly payment was 800, and the down payment was 19,000.
What does the place rent for?
Rent. Oh, was the monthly payment was 800.
No, I need the estimated rent. It'll be right here.
Hold on, let me go back. I'm sorry. It'll be where?
Right here.
Estimated rent. Oh, I'm sorry. 1843. 1800.
Right. Okay. And what are the taxes and the insurance?
1140.06.
Okay. And the
Plus-
insurance?
Insurance is $10,050. No HOA.
Gotcha. I mean, yeah, the deal looks great. It's 20% cash on cash return. You're getting $7,000 a year in cash flow, and your entry fee percentage, even with a $10,000 assignment, is only 12.2%. This is a good deal. Now, as far as did they say what part of the deal they didn't like?
No, they just said they didn't want to do no selling. They just want straight cash.
All right. Well, for anyone who wants to know how to do this, since this deal's already here, I'm going to show you guys. So let's say they had an issue with the monthly payment, and you want to know, okay, well, how high can I go? All you got to do is take whatever the deal sniper payment is, and this incrementally go up until your cash on cash return, which is right here, goes to between 10 and 12%. And you know that you have hit your max. I'd probably stop right there. So the max you can do is $1,050 a month.
So the cash on cash was what, 23, or was it?
It's 11.76 at $1,050 a month. It's 20.42 at $800 at the deal sniper numbers.
Gotcha.
So what do you do if a real estate agent wants interest or the seller wants interest? Like, I understand you built into the deal, but I want interest. Well, once your deal is in the system, you go back to the inputs page and you just go to interest. And let's say I want 5% interest. Okay, well, you guys keep an eye on that payment right there. So if I put 5% in, now my payment's $1,368.90. So when I go here, $1,368.90. Now, because you're using an interest rate, you have to be exact. Normally, I clean up the numbers. You can't do that when you're agreeing to pay interest. That number needs to be exact. And as you can see, that drops our cash on cash return to less than 1% and means that this deal will only be bringing in $253 a year for the investor. So that obviously wouldn't work. But that's how you figure it out. Does anybody have any questions on what I just went over?
That was good. I'm glad you did that because I had another agent that reached back out and didn't accept the other offer, but he came back. He said something about a counter offer, and that was one of the things I wanted to ask you about. What did he say? Okay. He came back and he was like, so on the market, it showed 224,000, right? So he said, here's the counter offer price, 225,000, down payment 5% and monthly payment 1,600 with buyer pays 3% commission. I didn't know what that meant.
Which part?
Where would I put the buyers pay 3% commission?
Oh,
You just showed me where to change the monthly payments to 1,600. I have to go back and put the numbers in.
okay.
And I think you showed me the where the percentage, which you just did over here on the seller finance interest rate.
That's
That's
right
the
here.
down payment interest, which was that 5%, right?
No, that's the monthly payment interest. There's no interest on
Oh,
the down payment. But I know what you
oh,
meant. Yeah, I know what you meant.
but that's how he wrote it. He said down payment 5%.
He wants 5% of the purchase price as the down payment,
Oh, okay.
which is good because the max we can do is 10. I think Deal Sniper spits out, I think, between 5 and 6 on average anyway. So 5% down is great. The only thing that's probably going to mess it up is he wants $1,600 a month, and I'm assuming the rent isn't. He wants $1,600. I'm assuming it's not $4,200 a month or $3,200 a month because that's what it'd have to be in order for $1,600 a month in monthly payments to the seller to work. Typically, you need about 50 to 60% of whatever the rent is what you pay for a monthly payment. If you want to do like some quick back of the napkin math.
Okay.
But let me ask you this: does he know you're
Mm.
wholesaling the deal?
No, that's the one that didn't get on the phone and talk to me, but I did tell him that I did mention that I'm working with buyers. I didn't like
Okay, I mean, in my opinion, like
I said I no, I did tell him I'm a
that's
wholesaler.
enough.
I said when he didn't answer, I told him that I'm a wholesaler and I work with a handful of buyers. That's what I told him.
Let him
And
know that we're good with damn near everything he said. Now, I don't know the purchase price, so you'll have to figure out, his commission. And just so you know, that 3% that commission that he's asking the buyer to pay is 3% of the purchase price. And once you figure that out, that number goes right there under realtor commission.
okay.
So when it pops up, it'll pop up over here and be added to whatever your entry fee and entry fee percentage is. So as long as that doesn't screw up the deal, which it can, most of the time it won't. It'll make it uglier, but it won't usually won't kill it depending on the purchase price. The only thing that I'm willing to bet one of my knives on is that his monthly payment is too much, because the property would have to rent for $3,200 a month minimum in order for that payment to work.
Okay.
So, and I would, especially since you already told me you're wholesaling, I would 100% memorize and utilize this answer, because this is basically explaining to him, hey, we can't do that because it's going to make the deal not cash flow. If the deal doesn't cash flow, my investors aren't going to buy it. And then you're just stuck in the same situation you've been in for the last however many days it's been on market anyway. So can we work on this monthly payment? Because that's the only thing stopping us from getting this thing sold. Is basically what this says.
Is that in the forms?
It's in the cheat sheet channel.
And the cheat sheet? Okay. I didn't look at that. I'll have to pull that up.
I highly recommend that, and to anyone who hasn't done it, memorize the cheat sheet, because anytime like not specific, but very commonly asked questions, I put in there how to answer them. And then all you have to do is take the idea, learn it, and then mold it into however you talk. And then you guys will have, anytime they say it, boom, you'll have the answer. Memorize the cheat sheet.
Okay.
There's a lot of good shit in there. I've been told. I don't know. I didn't write it.
Okay, Sean. So you said send the offer first, then give them a call. Let them know that you sent the offer out.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some people who will call first and say, hey, I'm getting ready to send you an offer on this property on 123 Main Street, but fair warning, it's a seller finance or creative offer. Is that something your sellers are going to be open to? Because I don't want to waste your time. If they say, yeah, that's fine, go ahead and send it. I'll take a look and I'll present it to them. Send it. If they say no, I say, hey, not a problem. Quick question. Do you have any other sellers that are having trouble moving their property on market that might be interested in a creative offer? Because my buyers are really looking to buy something right now. And see what they say.
Okay.
Because a lot of times you guys don't, or newer people don't understand that when a real estate agent comes back immediately and says, no, we don't want creative, they're like, oh, you didn't even, that was too fast. There's no way you talked to the seller about it already. They have that conversation with the seller before the property goes on market. They sit them down and they say, hey, look, we're going to get offers that look like this. We're going to get offers that look like that. Are you interested in any of those? If the seller says no, then the real estate agent already knows not to go present it to them. They already said no. That's how they're answering you so quickly. So it's not them being dicks. It's just them like, they already know. I mean, sometimes, yeah, they're probably being jerks, but that's probably way, way more rare than you guys realize. For the most part, people are decent. Like, they want to get the house sold too. Otherwise, they don't get paid either. And the longer a house is on market, the worse it makes the real estate agent look. Nobody wants that. So you could go about it that way and call them first. It really just depends on what your personality is. If you're more aggressive, call them first. If you're less aggressive and you're a little more passive, call them after. Because it gives you an easy segue off the phone.
Gotcha.
Anybody else have any questions?
I'm just trying to get these numbers down, Pat.
Watch the videos, man.
I am.
Watch the videos. And then we can always, I mean, anytime here's what I would recommend. If you want to make sure that you're doing the numbers right, anytime you're underwriting a deal and you want to double check, DM me a screenshot of the inputs page and then whatever tab, the corresponding one is. And I can literally look at it and be like, yep, that's right. That's right. Nope, that's wrong. That's wrong. And here's why. That's the fastest way you're going to learn. You got to make mistakes. I mean, it's not like I'm a fucking kneecap you. I don't even know where you are.
Gotcha.
Kendrick, what's up, man?
What's up? Okay. So I have a question about the cash on cash return percentage. What's our highest that we can go on that?
There's no limit. The higher, the better. But
The higher the better.
every deal is going to be different. Every deal is going to be unique. Usually they tend to be, I mean, unless you get super lucky or the numbers just match up, they tend to be between 15 and 20%, 25% for a long-term rental, 35% on a short term.
Okay, sweet. Thank you.
No problem. Anybody else got a question? Man, it's been a while. You can do it. Going once, going twice. It's so cringy when you do that. All right, cool. You guys have a great night. I'm gonna let you guys go. This recording will be up on the channel tomorrow at about 8 a.m. ish. And I will be actively in the Discord tomorrow for most of the early morning, and then the rest of the day after about 1 o'clock. I'll be in there the rest of the night. And then there's the live tomorrow's at 3:30 if you guys need help with anything. Other than that, you guys have a great night. I'll talk to you later.
You too. Thanks,
See ya.
Sean.
Well,
No
bye.
worries.